with us the year that lamb at the Myrtle Beach Airport?
No, I don't think so.
You weren't with us that year?
The lamb?
That was about the second or third.
Oh, at the airport.
Yeah, yo, see, the reason George's house is called the Lion's Den is because George is king of the jungle. He has animal magnetism. We had an issue the second year, where I'll just say he had a female in the Carolinas that didn't relent for 3 days trying to get to.
You gotta tell us, yeah.
You gotta tell us.
Yeah, you gotta tell us.
We're checking in at the resort. It took us almost 2 hours to get checked in because this woman was flirting with us. The help at the desk had to come over and move her out of the way and get us checked in. I mean, it was like instant attraction. that animal magnetism just came out. So then what happened was every morning this place they had breakfast for us.
This Litchfield, right?
Pauly's Island.
Litchfield, down that way though.
Yeah. So we would have to go through the lobby to the dining hall to get breakfast. And so every morning as we go through the lobby, she didn't even recognize me and Cordell. We'd be going through the lobby and she'd be at the desk and she'd say, "Good morning, Mr. Archer." So we put up with this every day. Every time she saw him, it was, "Mr. Arch, how you doing, Mr. Arch?" So she was on him so tough that the last day, we sitting around like we are now, debating on where we going to dinner at, me, him, and Cordell. And we teasing him, man. We on his hard, man. We're like, "Man, this is the last day that woman might jump your bones, man. She might carry you out of here, you know." And George, you know, if y'all know George just straight. He don't like no teasing at all. But me and Cordell, we and so, no exaggeration, we're sitting there talking in the telephone room.
I'll never forget what I went through. Don't take your help for granted.
Can I speak to Mr. Arch? Rosie hadn't forgiven me to this day. I handed him the phone. And she was like, "I know you're leaving tomorrow, Mr. Arch, and I just want to say goodbye, you know." And so we leave and we go to dinner. And me and Corky, we all go to George at dinner. I mean, we just on him. So I told George, I said, "Well, George, I said, I'm going to call you at home now." George, stop you. What do you mean? What do you mean? Cordell said, "She got your number, man. You registered at the hotel. She worked at the bank." George just said another word. We get back to the unit and we park the car. And me and Corky, George was lagging behind. Me and Corky hadn't even got to the door yet. And George say, "Bill, Rosie want to speak to you." He ain't taking no chances. He didn't call Rosie and told her the whole story because this woman called his house, he's going to be coming.
Proactive. Go ahead, George.
So Rosie go off on me. She said, "Well, what you giving the phone for, Bill?" "Rosie, I thought you had my husband back." I'm on the corner. So she did get in on a little of it. She said, "Well, Bill, it's just that animal magnetism." So we started calling George the Lion King. and we say Lion King.
Nobody do it like Big John.
So I think it was the very next year. We at the airport in Myrtle Beach, and we waiting on some other guys to come in that wasn't on the flight with us. And we standing outside, and this woman on the inside of the airport got the little baby lamb that she got a diaper on, and she got a baby bottle. Now they walked all the way through the airport on the inside, all the way out. The door was about 100 yards down. Came out the door, went across the street like she was going to the parking lot, and then she started walking back. Now it's 10, 12 guys standing out there, all of us out there just shooting the breeze. She walks across the street. She was on that side. She came back to our side of the street, walked past each one of us, and walked up to George and said, "Can you tell me how to get to..."
George is the man.
Well, you can just imagine 10 guys turning around and roar, you know, because the animal magnetism that took it off. So those of you that stay in the Lions Den, you got a little bit more history on the Lions Den.
Look up at George and say, "Dad."
It wasn't funny at that.
All I can tell you is Rosie to this day has not forgiven me and Cordell.
The last words to me when I left was, "Y'all better do better than you did the last time." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Last word.
And she told me to go just lay on the goal line. Because you know what that woman wanted, and you gave my husband the phone. He's a liar!
You're big and strong.
God, boy, take John to do that.
Was a retirement expert? Let's meet some.
Retirement journey, and we know the territory.
We're chartered accountability counselors at TD Ameritrade. We're trained.
Then the Brawlers got kind of interesting story.
I never did my research on the Brawlers yet. But
Just give us an episode update.
as soon as we get the update on this, we'll be back with you.
Oh, that was our first trip to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Rod coming in the next day, special agent decided, well, I'm taking the bed tonight.
More savings and discounts up to 40%.
Well,
Where else are you going to get
Dwayne's a real co-captain. Dwayne says no. Dwayne says no, that's not going to happen. It got very heated down there at the house. And it ended up, I'm abbreviating the story, but they became the Brawlers.
Oh, wait a minute. I think you take someone, when you abbreviate it.
Yeah, the basketball game and all that got to be.
No, the part I'm referring to is when Dwayne said, he said, well, it's Rodney's bed, and Special Agent number one said, well, he ain't here now.
Hey, Bill, let me tell you this. Early in the story came out, and I was asking, who was that Dwayne was wrestling with that time? Especially said, I had no idea. I said, God, I remember who is, oh, that was Kyle. I just asked Kyle. I said, I knew it was somebody.
So for you, Elijah, see, when we talk about rookies, see, we need to probably put you up under the tutelage of Dwayne. But, you know, because it's too late. Oh. Well, I guess it's not even going there. Cause see, Dwayne, guys, that's the most loyal man you could ever run into.
Special agents.
You've been down that road.
Special for a reason.
See, now I got in trouble a few years ago. And my buddy felt like I threw him under the bus.
Come on. Bill, you did.
You know,
Bill.
Bill.
All I know is I had a big bed for years.
Oh, well, look. It became such a mutiny around here. I went down to the hospital. I got down to the hospital. This is the big king size bed.
What's the real high bed?
Yeah, real high.
It wasn't a hospital, it was a socialist house.
No, well, they called it the hospital. But Noel was like this here, and he had the phone and his computer right here, and he laying on the big bed, just, you know. and I walked in and I said, he's in the big bed. I said, where's Doc? I looked, Doc was in a twin bed.
Oh, 6'2".
So I wanted to call a meeting of the house captains to find out what was going on. And then I found out that Cal and Corky was playing games with the big it got to where I didn't know who was in charge of the house.
I thought it was
because Tal was in the big bed.
Right.
And Corky was in the twin bed. So I had to talk to Dad, and I asked Dad, I said, well, Dad, do you give up your bed to anybody else? No. So, you know, talked to a few other people trying to find out what was going on, and we had to call a meeting of the house captains because there was some hanky-panky going on.
Was it total mutiny?
Nah, it was bad live.
It was bad. It was bad. Update live.
It was bad, but now but he felt like I threw him under the bus.
Under the bus.
Because I asked why he was in the big bed. He's my buddy, but it was Cordell's bed. What are you doing in Cordell's bed?
Okay, Dad. Update live.
You know what they told me?
Update live.
They told me
It was a peaceable kingdom.
They say, well, 1 year he let me have it, the next year he had it. I was like,
Bill, this incident didn't have anything to do with why it ended up being the king's house? I mean, you know.
that's enough.